I don't know if you know about this, but there are these places on the internet where you can go and you can pay to get a celebrity to do something for you. For example, you might be aware, you've probably heard this, that Nigel Farage makes hundreds of thousands of pounds a year by farting into jam jars and sending them to members of the Reform Youth Movement Margate East Regiment, RIMMER for short. So that's one thing that Nigel Farage does. Now, something else you might be aware of is the fact that I'm a huge Stanley Kubrick fan. So much so, in fact, that one day in 1999, when I arrived at work for a night shift, my line manager said to me, "Oh, I see on the news that your friend has died." And I thought, oh, shit, who's died? And why would it be on the news? And I said to him, who's died? Why would it be on the news? And he said to me, you know, your friend, your favourite film director, you know, that guy, whatever he's called. And I said, what, Stanley Kubrick? Stanley Kubrick's died. And he said, yeah. And I don't know whether I was relieved that a friend of mine hadn't died, or whether I was obviously distraught that Stanley Kubrick had died. And I think probably distraught at Stanley Kubrick having died probably, you know, was the more pressing thing. Anyway, I decided to go on the internet and see if I couldn't get Stanley Kubrick to write to me. And apparently that's something you can do. So the other week I went on the internet. This is wrapped so heavily. Not sure I shouldn't have started unwrapping this before. I went on the internet to see if I could get Stanley Kubrick to write to me. And so here is what arrived in the post the other morning. Very well wrapped. I suppose it did have to come all the way from Stanley Kubrick's house in America, so that'll explain why it's so well wrapped. Now, I guess while I'm unwrapping it, perhaps I'll tell a little bit of the story of how I became a Stanley Kubrick fan in the first place. Because I guess I probably saw 2001 A Space Odyssey on the television a fair few times when I was a kid. Oh, here we go. There's lots of layers of cardboard here to make sure that this is well protected. Oh, it must be in there. A letter from Stanley Kubrick. Having seen 2001 so many times when I was a kid, and Dr. Strangelove probably as well, and then it would have been later on that I would have discovered things like Barry Lyndon and A Clockwork Orange. Of course, A Clockwork Orange was banned when I was growing up, so A Clockwork Orange was one of the very few things that I managed to get hold of a bootleg VHS copy of. And so actually I was quite popular for a while with people who wanted to come round and watch A Clockwork Orange. I'm almost there. Just one more layer of wrapping to go now before I am in. And if I slit this one here, oh, there you go. And here we go. I've got a letter from yours sincerely, Stanley Kubrick. Gee, thanks, Stanley.